Well, would you look at what time it is? Yes, we know we are running a little bit late today, but of course we are so happy to have you as always. Welcome to another episode of In The Crosshairs. Yeah, so a little bit of a weird intro, but there we go. I'm your host, Ali Melendez. Welcome to In The Crosshairs, brought to you by Line Sniper, your definitive resource for all things sports betting. And today, like always, we are going to give you the rundown of everything in the great world of sports betting. We got some football, some baseball, some basketball. I mean, yeah, you get it. We got sports. And with me on this beautiful New York Thursday is the commissioner of college football, Mr. Joey Knish. Joey, how you doing today?
I mean, it's a beautiful day in Tampa. I mean, really, a couple of fantastic days out here in Tampa Bay for us Rays lifers. Just a great moment. So, we're one game away from putting away. I forget who they're playing. I know there's some people involved with the show that might know, but no, a couple of great Rays games. And looking forward to one more.
All right, well, you don't get to talk that much about my Yankees when you're late. All right, and then joining Joey on the table today, we got the man from Philly, Ronnie P., who I am sure has some hot opinions on the NBA Finals. How are you doing, Ronnie?
I'm doing great. Best bet won. My player prop won. Had a great Sunday. LeBron gets his 4th ring on Friday night. Life is good.
There we have it, baby. And to cover the NFL, we have Mr. Andy Molitor here to tell us about everything in this very weird NFL week. Andy, how you doing, man?
Just living that COVID-free life out here out in the Midwest. We're fine. Just staying away from places like Tennessee, I guess. So I'll try to touch base on any games that aren't canceled.
All kidding aside, I am happy you guys are safe. And of course, with all of that coming up on this episode of In the Crosshairs, it's going to be a lot of things so exciting. And if you need even more of the best sports betting content around, check out our social media and our YouTube channel. We post daily bet advice, betting strategies, and so much more to keep you one step ahead of everyone else. That is Line Sniper HQ on socials and YouTube. Same name, same excellent advice. All right. Now, I know you guys are ready to talk about sports, so let's go ahead and do that. We're going to start off with a little bit of back-to-school action, and Knish is going to take us through the NCAA picture. Joey, before we get started, how has this college season been for you? How was last weekend? I don't think I asked you on Tuesday.
No, it's been great. It's been just as great as the Rays run here. No, it's been fantastic. I'm really enjoying the college football season. It's been, we've been giving out a couple of nice winners here on the show. SEC's been good to us, so yeah, we'll try and keep it rolling here with a little bit extra here coming this weekend.
Awesome, and good, because we are going to jump into this one with a look at a division you've had a lot to talk about, and one that's popped up in your futures discussions as well. So let's talk ACC. Now, Knish, I know you're high on UNC, and rightfully so, obviously. The Tar Heels are looking pretty strong, and you have a nice future on them, but tell me what else you like in the ACC this weekend, especially to make us a little bit of cash.
No, we're going to swerve it here a little bit. With the midday game, we've got Georgia Tech, Louisville. So one that Georgia Tech was a team, coming in, had a new coach last year, had a terrible year, was building back freshman QB this year. They've been much improved throughout the first few weeks. And Louisville was a team that I was super high on coming into the year. And just blatantly call it what it is. In a few games, they've struggled. The defense hasn't been there. The offensive line has really struggled to protect Mikael Cunningham. And this is a Georgia team. You've seen the line, opened up around 6 in that. It's down to 4.5. This would be the last point that I'm okay in saying, all right, it's a bye. Georgia Tech plus 4.5. I think they've got a real shot to win on this Friday game. So for me, this should be the buying point here. I wouldn't go any lower than that, but if you can grab that 4.5 that's out there, I think Georgia Tech is a team on the rise. Louisville slightly disappointing. 4.5. I think this should be more around 3. So I'm going with the Yellow Jackets plus 4.5 this Friday.
Hey man, Georgia Tech isn't the best team in the ACC, but they're certainly not the worst. I gotta hand it to you there. And Louisville, I mean, what do you want from me? They're not the best either. Honestly, I see a pretty close matchup in our future, and Knish says, hey, that's a good look. But Joey, let's go to another division, and hey, it is another one. You've talked a lot about the Big 12. You took Oklahoma State early on at a pretty nice price. Love that for you. So hopefully some of the gang at home listen to you on that one as well. But let's talk about this weekend. What do you see in the Big 12 market? Who's getting some of Joey's bankroll?
Yeah, no, the pokes are real deal. I like, as far as the folio is concerned, that is definitely my favorite one that's on there for me. I think they're better than Texas. I think they're better than Oklahoma. I think when they get Spencer Sanders back, they are the best team in the Big 12. However, for this weekend, we're going to go to Texas Christian University here, TCU. And really, this comes down to one big thing. Skylar Thompson, Kansas State's quarterback, got hurt last week. He's been DNP the first couple of days of practice this week. College teams are notoriously, we'll call it sketchy with injury reporting. They're saying he's going to be a game time decision. I don't see it, frankly. I don't think he's going to be able to play. I think they're going to have to go with the backup, who really struggled when he came back. When Skylar went out last week, they were up a couple scores on Texas Tech. By the time that the game was over, it was right down to the wire there. Texas Tech had come all the way back. The backup really struggled. I don't think he plays. And so I'm going to go out there. And this is right now trading around 8.5. That's going to fly over 10 if he's out. And it's probably one thing you won't know until Saturday. You won't know until, an hour before the game of who's warming up with the ones. But they're saying he's got a chance to play. I don't think so. He's been DNP. I don't think he's playing. Lay it with TCU.
All right, so Joey likes the TCU Horned Frogs on the point spread, even over the 2-1 Kansas State Wildcats. And while I can't say I know much about TCU, I mean, Kansas State barely managed to beat the Sooners a couple weeks ago. And guys, I'm pretty sure that literally the four of us on this show today could beat the Sooners. But Joey, thank you so much. Let's get one more here, and let's get a little degenerate here. Joey, you keep up with the smaller divisions, the Sun Belt, the MAC, I think the Mountain West is one.
Your favorite.
Joey, oh, of course, Mountain West. Yeah, go Mountain West. Joey, what's going on in these schools that people might overlook but absolutely should not?
No, I know the scummy game of the weekend that I'm going to give out here is I love Charlotte here laying the 3 against North Texas. North Texas has been awful. They lost their star quarterback last year. He graduated. Coming into this year, they were down a ton of talent, and their defense has been catastrophically bad. Charlotte, on the other hand, a team that's gone through a couple of games. They were competitive for App State for a little bit. Then they ended up, last weekend they're in control against Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic makes a couple of explosive plays. Charlotte's got a chance to win it at the end. They don't. I think they've been more unfortunate. They've been much more competitive. They lost their starting quarterback, Chris Reynolds. He was out for the better part of 2 weeks. But for me, this is a great situation for them. They're going against a North Texas defense that is a bottom 5, Power 5 defense. North Texas, on the other hand, an offense has been hit and miss. I think Charlotte, the strength of their team has been more on the defensive side of the ball. I think it's a great matchup. To me, this one is all Charlotte. Lay the 3. It's my favorite. It's Conference USA here is the fun one. But my favorite Knish conference game. I'm always out there looking for the little guy. The man of the people. So Charlotte laying the 3. That's favorite small conference game of the weekend.
Hey, man. Sure, whatever. Knish says don't
The
miss
money is
Charlotte
green,
versus
Allie.
North Texas. I mean, I literally don't know what channel that's on. Maybe you can hit up Knish on socials and ask him. But either way, hey, don't miss it. So thank you so much, Joey. Your college ball insight is always welcome, of course. But we're going to go from the campus to the bubble now as we say goodbye to football just for a little bit. So hang tight on that one. But we welcome basketball. Ronnie P, get in here, man. Now, the NBA Finals are still a thing that's happening. For how much longer? Well, probably a game or two, But
One more
that's
game.
great for us. Well, that's great for us because we got things to bet on, of course. So are you feeling good, Ronnie? I mean, are you ready to give us the good numbers?
All right, so here's the thing, Allie. We all know that the Lakers are going to win Friday night, but are they going to win by 7? Now, it's funny because Miami has covered 3 games out of 4. Of course, the one game I put money on, Miami doesn't cover. Of course, game 1, the most money I put on it, too, they don't cover. Thanks, Miami. But I don't see Jimmy Butler scoring 40 points and having a triple-double again. Dragic out really hurts them. And on Friday night, the Lakers are wearing the Black Mamba jerseys. They are playing for Kobe Bryant. The role players are stepping up. KCP hit a lot of crucial shots on game 3. Danny Green's not doing much, but everybody else is doing great. It's over on Friday. I don't know if I would take it -7, though. I would live bet to see what lines you can get for it. But I got something better for you, Allie. I got a player prop that is guaranteed to win.
Right. I mean, yeah, you said it. I mean, the -7 point spread at -110 isn't terrible, but the lines are just so heavily cut towards the Lakers, and I don't have the confidence in the Heat, really. I mean, maybe
Nope.
the Tyler HERRO, right, over 17.5. I think we're going to talk about that because that's what I'm thinking could be a thing, but I'm not even that huge on it. So what about you, Ronnie? What are you looking at on the prop side of the game? I mean, are there some hidden gem bets still sitting around in the books that we haven't caught yet?
Oh, there's a hidden gem, Allie. There's a hidden gem. Okay, check this out. We know damn well the Lakers are winning Friday night, right? Like I'm pretty positive they're going to win Friday night. They have not lost a game in the Black Mamba jersey. Again, they're playing for Kobe. They're emotional. They've been in the bubble for 3 months. They want to go home. They want to get the hell out the bubble. You're one win away from getting out the bubble to go back home and to win a championship, so they're going to be firing all cylinders. LeBron James is averaging a damn near triple-double, right? He's averaging 28, 11, and 9. So I found this player prop at minus 125. LeBron James, double-double, which he's going to get, and a Lakers win. Thank me later. Thank me on Saturday when you cash it. I'm going big on this one. I trust LeBron. He's going to go off. He wants to win MVP. He wants to get home. I feel bad for you, Bronny. You're in trouble, Bronny. Sorry, brother. Sorry, little man. You're in trouble. But Lakers win. LeBron gets a double-double. LeBron gets his 4th ring, and we can now start the conversation of how he is the greatest player of all time. Yes, I said it, and I watched Michael Jordan growing up. Boom.
Ooh, boom, mic drop. I mean, obviously the LeBron double-double is almost a guarantee. He's gotten that in all but 2 games in the whole playoff, and in one of those he had 9 rebounds and 9 assists, so an inch away. But if you like the Lakers to win, there's no reason to skip this one bet. Definitely take it if you can. So thank you for that, Ron. You get to take a little break now as we switch gears one more time and bring it back to football and bring back Andy Molitor to check in on the NFL for us. Andy, how's the week been treating you and your wallet?
I had a good week. I finally had a good week. I had a couple rough ones after a nice start. Bookended the first quarter of the NFL's over, I guess. So week 1 went good, week 4 went good. Everything else in between didn't really happen. So, and even had a nice winner at the end with second half play on the Chiefs game there before I went to bed early for a super late Monday night game.
Awesome. Well, let's see if we can't buff your bankroll and do the same for our friends watching. And let's talk about some football already. Now, I understand you have a couple looks at this weekend, starting off with my New York Giants against Joey's Dallas Cowboys. And now I see I have a bunch of unfortunate stats about the Giants in my prompter, which I am choosing to ignore, everybody. So I'm not saying those. So listen, just talk to me about the numbers that you see, and I don't have to read them myself.
Yeah, it's just a tough one for me to make the number. When it was under 10, I was fine taking that. I think it's moved to 10. I don't even have it up right now, but it was kind of a number play. It was going to move to 10. The Cowboys injuries news hasn't been super hopeful for me, but at the same time, kind of a buy low spot on the Cowboys after they've struggled playing some decent offenses here. I'm fine laying it against this team. The weakness of the Cowboys, obviously, is this defense. The offense can certainly get after it. But to take advantage of a weak defense, you need an offense, and the Giants certainly don't have that. They're 32nd right now in offensive DVOA, which is not only just a ranking of offenses, that's a ranking of offenses where they completely wash out the opponents. It doesn't mean like, oh, they didn't play anybody or they played a bunch of tough defenses. That's why their offense now. It takes everything out. It's completely neutral, and they're still dead last in the league. I don't see this offense doing much, which maybe that's what scares me a little bit about this game is because Dallas doesn't seem to get the offense going until they're down by 20. Hopefully things change a little here. They'll have to get back into this division race, which is laughable at best, I guess. So even with a slow start, Joey's Cowboys still right in the divisional race. The might win the division with 6-7 games here, but yeah, I laid the 9.5.
Oh, and it hurts that it's a safe bet for the Giants to lose by 10. It hurts more knowing who they are losing to. But Andy's numbers do not lie. So Andy, I don't want to talk about the Giants anymore. It's way too painful. So let's move on to the rest of the NFL. And why don't you tell us what else is going on that we should actually care about in the games you see bringing us some weekend value?
My team, my undefeated Steelers, they're back. People forget about them because they were unfortunate enough to play against a Corona team last week, and games got canceled, games got moved. I will say this is probably long-term a bad thing for the Steelers. Like having a bye week that late in the season, they're going to play 13 weeks in a row now, or this early in the season rather. So unscheduled bye, things got moved around. Not great for them long-term, but great this week. coming off a bye, even if it was unexpected, getting all this extra time, Philly with the injuries, possibly getting some receivers back. I'm not sure if it's going to work or if it's going to really matter. I saw Deshaun Jackson practicing a little. Even the guys who are practicing, still limited. This defense is going to eat on Sunday against a left tackle making his second start ever against Bud Dupree. That's going to go poorly. So I laid the 7 here. This is another one where I just couldn't make the numbers work. I feel like it should go up. It probably will. I don't know if there's going to be Eagles money. I don't know what those people are going to be seeing with that game. I'm laying a lot of chalk this week. I don't love it, but at the same time, my numbers don't jive. I'd make this closer to 8.5. So laid it with my Steelers. Big Ben coming off the bye.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like we don't talk about it enough on this show, but the Steelers are actually pretty good, and the Eagles, not so much. So Steelers to win by at least a touchdown, right? Yeah, sign me up for that. So let's jump into the rest of this weekend and the props market. Any players you're waiting for the lines on? Any win margins or quarters props? I mean, tell us anything like that, Andy.
Yeah, it's Thursday, so we don't have a lot yet. But something I'm going to keep an eye on, just matchup-wise, is kind of a underrated defense for Baltimore. They haven't got talked about a lot. They got beat up by Kansas City. It was an ugly game against Washington that there wasn't much of it wasn't competitive. It wasn't really on people's minds, but an underrated defense in the sense that they're very good and people aren't talking about them are going to go up against a bad offensive line. I'm going to look at that sacks prop. If it's a game, the game script should play out where Baltimore's winning, Cincinnati's forced to throw the ball a lot, and the pass rush has a huge advantage on that offensive line. I'm going to look for a sacks over prop on Baltimore going forward this week. Like I said, it's not up yet, but once we get closer to Sunday, it's something I'm going to take a peek at.
Exactly. Andy, thank you so much for all of that amazing NFL insight. Again, I know not too much, knowledge here yet, but we'll know more as the weekend gets closer. And we'll worry about that later. For now, we have something very important to get to, and of course, that is your best bets. So we are at the very end of the show. I know, cry later. It hurts me as well. But that means before I let all of you guys start pre-gaming for Thursday Night Football, you have to give me your best bet. Any sport, any game, whatever. Just the best bet of the week to take our friends at home into the weekend. So, Mr. Knish, get the ball rolling for us.
Now, I'm going to take a little Texas Tech. We're going to go to the college ball again. So I'm going Texas Tech, Iowa State, under 65 points here. Texas Tech likely going to be rolling with a backup quarterback. Alex Bowman got hurt last week. They're going to be on the second string. Iowa State, if you look at their last few games versus Texas Tech and versus this type of offense, they have phenomenal success stopping that type of spread passing attack. They run this cloud zone. They're very good at slowing down the game. And Iowa State in their own right, not a fantastic offensive team. They're a team that kind of wants to run the ball. They're a little bit plodding, slower. Also, very tough place. One of the few college campuses right now that kind of in stadiums that has a home field advantage is Ames and Iowa State. They're not really doing too much with the social distancing in the game versus Oklahoma. There was a lot of people in the stands. It was real loud. Iowa's one of those places that maybe not as very stringent with the social distancing rules. So there's a lot of people there. It was loud. They'll have a home field advantage. Under 65 in Iowa State, Texas Tech.
All right, good stuff from America's sweetheart, but let's hop on over to Ronnie P. What do you have for us?
I'm sorry, guys, my Philadelphia people. I'm so sorry. I love the Eagles, but I bleed green, but I bleed green in the cash flow. Eagles are not a good team. We are banged up. I'm sorry. We should not have beat San Francisco. We beat Nick Mullins, and we're bragging about beating Nick Mullins. Sorry, how are we bragging about beating Nick Mullins? Eagles are bottom 10 in scoring. They're bottom 10 in passing. Wentz has been intercepted 7 times, sacked 14 times against a Pittsburgh Steelers, arrested Pittsburgh Steelers, and for the first time, they're allowing fans in the stadiums. We're getting blown out. I'm not even going to watch that game. I'm taking Pittsburgh -7 is my best bet. Sorry, guys. Don't spit on me. I love you. I'm sorry.
Done and done. Keeping it honest, keeping it transparent. I love that, Ronnie. But, of course, Mr. Molitor, we did not forget about you. So help us take some stuff to the bank. What's your best bet?
A little tickler for tonight on Thursday. I'm going to be on that first half under. There are still some 22s out there. I know honestly, I've talked to some sharp people around the full game under. I like that. Honestly, there's still some 45s. You might have to pay a little extra, but the under 22 looks good to me. I think we're going to see a slow start from Brady and the gang. And honestly, if we get anything out of Nick Foles, I would be surprised completely, even against kind of a marginalized Tampa defense. So under 22 in the Thursday night football game tonight.
Mouth about Nick
right.
Foles, Andy. I like you, but watch your mouth about Nick.
Yeah, I know.
Watch your mouth, buddy.
Well,
BDN,
gentlemen,
baby.
thank you so much. We covered NFL, NBA, NCAA, and of course we got some best bets. Nobody dropped another F-bomb live on air. Uncle Knish. But I think that was a pretty good show, gentlemen. So thank you for joining me today, and thank you all at home for watching. Of course, we appreciate you as always, and we'd appreciate you if you checked us out on social at Line Sniper HQ, where we will give you all of our weekend picks and keep you updated on just about everything going on in sports betting. And if you want even more, just check out our YouTube, same name, Line Sniper HQ. Keep it nice and easy for you guys. That is all we have for you on this episode of In the Crosshairs. We will be right back on Tuesday for next week's games and, of course, to make some money right there with you. But that is going to be next time. This has been another lovely episode of In the Crosshairs, your definitive resource for sports betting content and in-game analysis. For the team here in the studio, guys, I'm Ali Melendez, and thank you so much for watching. See you soon.